I don't apologize for the lateness of the hour because I think it's been important, but I do want to spend maybe 3 or 4 minutes working around a particular theme. The 13th chapter of Corinthians is one of the most beautiful chapters of the Bible. You will remember it ends with faith, hope, and charity, or love. Abide these three, but the greatest of them is love. Last week we did a sermon on the concepts of faith. And faith was defined in the biblical sense as trust, first of all, in God, and secondly, the security that that trust brings. It's interesting that when the Bible deals with the concept of faith, it is a concept which is always tied in with other concepts, like hope, like joy in Peter, like love. Paul, over 6 times, puts faith, hope, and love together, where he sees them not as individual things which are to be separated one from the other, but as a continuum, a unified whole. One cannot have faith without hope, one cannot have hope without love, and one cannot love without faith. And it's a continuing kind of circle. I think it would be appropriate for us to realize that as we talk about faith as trust in God and security, it is precisely that trust and that security that enables us to dare hope. For where there is no trust, where there is no sense of security, there is no ability to reach out with hope. For Paul, faith and hope are related. And faith leads to hope, and hope leads to unshakable confidence, rejoicing, steadfastness, boldness, freedom. For one who is enslaved with fear, whether it be fear of a human element or fear of a future, is enslaved and cannot live with hope. But one who puts faith and trust in God and is standing steadfast in the awareness of God is no longer living a life of fear, but is living a life capable of hope. And it's hope which changes things. But I think in the second place, very quickly, one of the things that oftentimes we miss in hope is that we understand that God and this trust-faith relationship is man's hope. But we don't emphasize enough that man is God's hope. We have a tendency to be highly individualistic and to say, hey, God, what can you do for me today? And not to say, hey, God, what can I do for you today? The reason that this fits in so powerfully to what we've been doing and to this ceremony is that this ceremony is a statement, first of all, of trust and confidence in God on behalf of the people of this church, a statement on the trust and confidence in the people of this church on behalf of God. And the covenant relationship spells out throughout the Bible not only what we need to do to be responsible to God, but what God needs to do to be responsible to us. And the hope as a covenant relationship is a statement of directions after faith. Where when one puts one's trust in, believes in, is secure in that trust, is able to stand firm in it, to have the unshakable confidence of a Paul, the steadfastness of a Paul, then one finds that the freedom and the hope and all of the things that are so essential begin to break forth. It begins in a quiet way, deep down inside, with the quiet acceptance of God. For hope is ultimately trusting in God's indwelling spirit to work through each of us for his creative good and ours. Faith, hope, love, these three. One cannot be